is doing things that are not holy and that they are not honorable. I want you to listen to me. Parents, if your kids are doing or are engaged in relationships, dating relationships, if you're dating and your dating relationship, when it comes to your body, when it comes to your sexuality, when it comes to your emotions, when it comes to your being, if you're doing things that are unholy and that they're not honorable, my suggestion, do not pray for the transformation of the relationship. Stop the relationship. Just cut it off. Just let it go. That's the beauty of dating, that you can just let it go, right? The problem is that many of us, many of our young people, many of our single people are involved in dishonorable and unholy experiences, and eventually they get married with the understanding that hopefully he will change, she will change. Hopefully, see, it does not work. I'm inviting you to listen to the teaching, to be under the leadership, under the authority of these apostles, and listen to the word as God speaks. And again, coming back to the husbands, not only that I'm supposed to respect them because they are the weaker partner, but also because we as heirs, talking about the plural, you are the recipients of the gracious gift of life. So this is what we have to simply pray together and remind ourselves that the equality that we find in Jesus is simply because of how we were found in equality when it came to rebellion. I'm going to say that again. The equality that we have in Jesus today, as those who are heirs, we inherited, is something that was given to us, is something that somebody pays. See, that's the distinctiveness of someone, giving you an inheritance. It's something that you don't earn. It's something that you don't ask. It's something that is given to you. See, you and I became heirs. This is the context, right? Verses 1 through 6 is Christian wives. Verse 7 and following is Christian husbands. So now we both are heirs. And our uniqueness and our inheritance, that we are co-participants, is the result that first, in Genesis chapter 3, we were co-participants of rebellion. And that's why through Genesis chapter 3, verse 16, that's when God gives judgment to the lady and after sinning, and says, it is through childbearing that you will experience the deepest of pain, and you will desire your husband. That implies that in the context of putting you under my submission, you will. This is the brokenness of the world. This is the consequence of sin. This is how you became co-heirs of rebellion, because you find yourself in inequality. Because since that day, up to today, we have been fighting for equality. We have been fighting abuse. We have been fighting molestation. We have been fighting divorce. We have been fighting dysfunctionality. I mean, we can go on and on, because at the beginning of creation, we chose to be equal in rebellion. We inherited from Adam this curse of sin. But in Jesus Christ, according to Peter, now it is in Jesus Christ that this experience has been not improved, but reversed. Not improve or make better, but literally now our equality is under the leadership of the God of the Bible. That Peter simply says that's what makes you heirs, that you, the two of you, now you have received, you have been the recipients of the grace of God, of the gift of life. In the past, you were supposed to receive death. In the past, you were not supposed to survive your marriage. In the past, you were not supposed to have kids. In the past, you were not supposed to, and you can fill in the blanks. And here we are in the middle of a pandemic, feeling, struggling, trying to figure things out. And God reminds us that through Jesus Christ, although at the beginning we were the recipients of brokenness and sin, today we have the privilege to continue the legacy of the gospel in the context of a Christian wife and a Christian husband. If you're a single person, you make sure that you choose godliness, that you choose honorable, that you choose holiness through relationships. Why? Because that's what you want at the end. What you want at the end is you want to join in the family of God, where now you have absolutely nothing that will distract you, that will stop you, not simply just from prayer, because everybody prays, but to have God as the object of your prayers, to have God as the one who reversed Genesis chapter 3 in your life, and what brings you together as a family is not just the commitment that until death do us apart. That's the beginning. It's not simply because now we have children and we need to raise those kids and get them through school and get them through adulthood. Also, that's included. But the reason why we are here, the reason why we are family is because we are heirs. We have inherited the righteousness of Jesus, that through Jesus, the Son of God who was chosen before creation, he is the cornerstones. We are stones that have been made alive. And in that relationship is that we are now co-participants with the mercy, with the grace, with the righteousness of Jesus. And today, you get the privilege not only to pray, you get the privilege not only to have a husband, not just the privilege to be a parent, not just the privilege to have a wife, you get the privilege that as you continue to develop the worldview, the teaching, the understanding of the apostles, you have God as the object of that teaching. You have God as the object of your prayers. So when we talk about something that can potentially hinder your prayers, something that can potentially become an obstacle, this is the beauty of becoming an heir of the living God. To become a co-heir with Jesus Christ is that today, as you pray, today as we pray, we don't pray, we do not pray, we do not pray, we do not pray towards victory. We pray from victory. Because now we don't have simply a mediator. We don't have a high priest. We don't simply have a prophet. We don't simply have the King of Kings. We have, the book of Hebrews says, we have a family member that has come to rescue, that has come to become the husband of the church, to become the groom of the bride. Have you made that decision? Are you at the place that you have settled simply for praying and you don't know exactly who you're praying to? Are you at the place that potentially your marriage is just going through the daily mundane routine where you're just hoping not to get divorced? Maybe you're at the place where you fear what the future holds for your family. I'm here to tell you that although I do not know how the future is going to look, I do know the person that we pray to that literally has created the future, that literally holds everything in his hands, and he has made us, once again, heirs of the beauty, heirs of the gift, heirs of the newness, not simply of a life without a pandemia, but he has made us part of family of the gift, which is his son, Jesus Christ.